Oh, no, I can even tell without that. So, so we have a place called Coal Lands in Thrissur, where it's okay. The coal lands in Thrissur again, it's around 3 meters below sea level. So during the monsoons that we are blessed with two monsoons, the southwest as well as the northeast. The northeast is what you receive here. So during these two, I mean, the major rainfall season is the southwest monsoon. That's from June to August, September. So in that season, it is totally inundated with water, completely submerged. And then as the monsoon recedes, that is southwest monsoon recedes, we pump out the water into the outer ring in the field of the polders. And there the fresh water, rainwater is retained there. And then the land that has been emptied with water, we do the rice cultivation there. So that is the system. And so for the rice cultivation, the northeast monsoon is not that sufficient strong in Kerala, like in Tamil Nadu. But of course, so the whatever water we want to cultivate rice is now pumped out. The fresh water that has been pumped out in the outer ring will be pumped back. So that's how they do the rice cultivation in the polders, and that is below sea level at Kuttanad as well as in coal lands. So these are the two major tracts of rice cultivated areas in Kerala. And of course, the granary of rice we call of Kerala is Palakkad. That's very close to Tamil Nadu or Coimbatore. So this is the requirement of rice in the requirement of a rice variety is quite different from for each system. So we would need then about the cropping season. If I'm to tell, we usually have two major cropping seasons, and the first one is like starts in May, June. And then the second one starts in September after our Onam. Onam festival is actually a harvest festival. So after that, the second crop starts in August, September. It extends up to December. And sometimes if there's enough water, we do have the summer crop. So, so that's this. And then the rains, the water is, and the major problem that we face in for rice cultivation is the acidity and the iron toxicity in Kerala. So being a laterite zone, we have laterite soils. It's highly rich in iron. And so that in the rice soils, there's a lot of iron, and that causes a lot of iron toxicity. Coupled with this acidity in the soil, it is really detrimental to crop growth. So most of the varieties that we have can tolerate to a large extent the iron toxicity. And also the rice that we consume is quite different from what you consume here. We are into the red bold rice, the big ones that might stick to your throat sometimes. So not like the punni, the slender ones. So so we are the rice that we consume is totally different. So that's why I think in major rice breeding projects, Kerala gets left out because all others are focusing on breeding rice varieties, slender grain rice varieties, white grain rice varieties. We are something different. We want big, short, bold. So actually, the red rice that we consume is majorly called the matta rice. So when we were going into the etiology of this nomenclature, matta, actually we thought it was like red rice. Because of that, it is called like that. But the truth behind it, the name is like Kerala was part of Madras presidency long back. So it was it was a Tamil speaking area also. That was there were a lot of Tamil speaking people there, and in Tamil, mattam means, I know it is something, yeah, second grade, right? So actually the people, they considered the white rice as the best type, and the red rice was mattam for them. It was bad for them. So that is how it became shortened, and now the red rice group is called the matta rice. Yeah, and we are very proud of it. Until we know the origin of that, actually the word. So matta rice of Palakkad has got a GI also. Matta rice of Palakkad, which is comprising about 9 varieties, traditional varieties of nuts. So this is the background of rice, and of course, I'll just go through what I have. So we are a consumer state. Okay, the right you in Kerala, the area under rice is very less compared to the other states. It's a small state. We have around only 2.05 lakh hectares of rice, but still, rice is a staple of we. If if allowed, we will eat rice all the 3 times. Or the so kanji in the form of kanji, we say kanji, that is in the morning. But nowadays we are all become fashionable. Now we go for oats and other things. We have discarded that kanji culture. So you have still in the rural areas where people really work hard, they go for all these 3 time rice. So rice is something that is ingrained in our diet, and we need that a lot. So we don't produce enough. We have an area of only 2.05 lakh hectares, and the production is only around 6 lakh a lakh tonners every annually. So the whole so the productivity, however, is higher than the national average. That is around 3,000 something. Of course, it is not as high as in Tamil Nadu, but it is anyway higher than in see our state. I think it's somewhere here. I can see it. Yes, it is around 3,000 something, 3,094 kg per hectare. Compared to the national average of 2,717. I think that's the national average. And but it is far below Tamil Nadu, which has around 3,700 kg, and the Punjab is the first one with 4,000 something. Anyway, but whatever it is, we are not producing enough. So we are a consumer state, not only for rice, for many other other things. For vegetables, we depend on our neighboring state. That's mainly Tamil Nadu. Yes, yeah. So for me, it is not different because I've been here for long. I feel it is the same. But when people say there, it is neighboring state, right? So I don't want to go into this statistics. We are not just. I want to say that we are not producing enough. We are only producing, Kerala produces only less than 50% of its requirement of rice. But, and you would say, Kerala, the red rice is being cultivated on a large extent in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka, and Maharashtra also recently. And they imported to Kerala actually on a big scale. So the other 40, I would say we are producing only 1/5 of our requirement. So the 4/5 of this comes from the other states. So we are all alive and we are eating and having a full because of few people. So we are thankful for that also. So, and also for teaching us and educating people like us and go back to Kerala and do the breeding. Yeah, we are very grateful. So this is what. But anyway, we have different options to produce varieties. As in another state, we resort mainly to conventional breeding. So now it is the era of molecular breeding. So we are taking the assistance of molecular biotechnological tools to produce varieties that are suitable for our condition. So I would just say, I would just skip through what the different ecosystems. I don't think you need to know much about this, but we have the laterite midlands, the hill ranges, and the Palakkad plains that is very close to us. In Palakkad also we have a very small unique pocket of black cotton soil, where that is the Chittoor block. That's only the place where the soil is not acidic in Kerala. It is alkaline. And then you have the Kuttanad, that is Alapi, that is below sea level. And Pokali, I hope you are aware of Pokali, that is the saltol varieties, salinity tolerant varieties, and the source of saltol gene is from the Pokali rice that's in Ernakulam district next to Thrissur. And as I said earlier, the coal lands, which is also a below sea level farming area. And the Onnathugara is a sandy tract, that is in Kayangulam near to Andhram. And then you have the high ranges, mainly in Wayanad. So we have a wealth of traditional varieties in Wayanad. And I don't know if you're learning the PGR courses or the GI and all those things, so you would have heard that the Jirgashala and Gandagashala. These are the aromatic rices from Wayanad that has got a GI tag also. So these are the, so we have 13 agro ecosystems, of which major 9 ecosystems we grow rice. So this is just what it is. So I would, for each, for specifically, I wouldn't say, I will not be going through. I will, based on the objectives, we have major objectives for each. This one, I think it applies across the ecosystems, breeding for resistance, biotic stress. So that is what I will be talking. So here in Kerala, KU, of course, we initially the whole of the breeding efforts in rice was like pure line selection, that is improving the already existing one, the traditional varieties and the land races. So if you can, to tell you, for Patambi RRS Patambi, or the Patambi rice varieties or the PTB varieties, there are around 62 rice varieties that has been released as of now, and the first 34, they were all pure line selections from the existing traditional varieties. So it was only like the land races were improved, and the second part, then we shifted to hybridization and selection, just like in when the in the early 60s, late 60s actually. So we focus on varieties that are suitable for different ecosystems, for different seasons, different durations, different stresses. So we have a lot of stress. You name the stress, biotic stress, and we have it. Like, it's a very high humid area, Kerala. That is over the year, on an average, the humidity is about 70 percentage, always throughout the year. Even in March, because we have summer showers, we get the humidity is so high that the pests and diseases, all are there. You name it, stem borer, leaf holder, BPH, anything and everything is there. Fungus, you name, the false moth, the blast, and everything. You can, today morning, Gemini ma'am's student was telling he went to Wamban to screen for YM. But in our case, you don't have to go for any other. You can come anywhere and raise a crop and it will be affected. It's a hot spot. The state itself can be declared as a hot spot for the different pests and diseases. So much of incidents. So here, so we focus on all these things for breeding in rice. So we have major 6 stations that are located in very major ecosystems of agro ecosystems. So Regional Agriculture Research Station Patambi is one of the major research stations which has released the most number of rice varieties, 62 in total. And then we have the Agriculture Research Station Manuti, where I am presently working. And then Onatugra for the sandy tract. Mangomb is actually in Alapi, that is Kuttanad region, and Kumaragam was also in Kuttanad, Alapi. And then we have the Vaitla. Vaitla is the Pokali tract. So these are major tracts that is where we have the rice research stations. And of course, like in Tamil Nadu, we do have students working in small colleges that still they do work in research in rice also. So major stations. So till as of now, around 127 rice varieties have been released from the various stations. And you can see the major first one is the Regional Agriculture Research Station Patambi, that is with release of 62 varieties. So Mangomb is, so to tell you, yes, I was just telling you up to 34, the first 34 varieties from rice, in rice was, pure line selections in Patambi. And then we switched on to the PTB 35 is Annapurna, which is very distinct, where we started hybridization and selection. And to be, I just highlighted this because Annapurna, we claimed it as the first high yielding, short duration hybrid derivative in the world. Because we can be very sure it is in the world, because no other person has bred the red rice still there through hybridization. So it was the time, like in 1960s, where the Green Revolution started, and we had the miracle rice coming in. So at that time, this Annapurna is derived from IR8. So it is a cross between PTB 10 and IR8. So that is at that time itself they started hybridization just when. So this is Annapurna, which is the high yielding variety, short duration and high yielding definitely. So then the whole process of hybridizing, and then selection came into existence after the 1960s, after the development of Annapurna. And now also we are resorting to if there are few varieties like Rashmi and like yes, I would say there are few Matatriveni. All these things are mutants also. We are doing mutation breeding, and of course now we are also using the macro-assisted breeding methods for this one. So the latest one from this one is Supriya and Akshaya, that is from Patambi. The other two, that is the last one, Manu Varna, is from ARS Manuti. So this is Annapurna for your example. On the right, you can see the grains of Annapurna in close-up. I don't know whether it is visible. You can see it is very bold and red rice. Yeah, and these are the two. I just want to focus on these two varieties. That is the PTB 39, that is Jyoti, and this is MO16 Uma. And these are the elite red rice varieties that are grown across Kerala and very popular among the farmers. And these occupy around more than 70%. I would say 80% of the total rice cropped area in Kerala is occupied by these both varieties combined. So both are red rice and bold types. You can see that this is a short bowl variety, and Jyoti is a long bowl variety. And Jyoti fetches a premium price, actually much higher, around 4 rupees more than any other variety in Kerala. And that is a very premium price, and it is for export. The Middle East, they take a lot of this long bowl varieties here. So Jyoti is the most popular long bowl red rice variety, and the other one is a short bowl variety, and very high yielding also in our condition. For us, high yielding means above 6 tons. That's our yield per hectare. But here, I think it is very common to achieve that. But in our situation, there are a lot of limitations. In spite of that limitations, these are varieties that are very good yielding. But unfortunately, for the past 2 years, we have seen that they have become susceptible. Especially Uma is susceptible to false smut. We have a lot of false smut coming up. And Jyoti too is susceptible to BPH. That's a big problem for us. So here we, as in the other, this one, we have the very diverse germplasm there, and we have an attempt to collect the germplasm, and we had the funding to set up a seed gene bank similar to the PGR seed bank here. And I had with the information from Manomani ma'am, and she was the head at that time. So with the help of that seniors here, I got a lot of information. We set up the seed gene bank in Kerala Agriculture University. So we have a lot of collections from different parts of the state. Deposited in this bank, and it works on similar lines with the bank here. So we have it's really I'm really proud to say that the Patambi varieties are a lot of they are donors for many valuable genes across, and it has been used across the world. For example, the Saltol is from Pokali. Then PTB 33 is a resistant variety that is being used for BPH. Check as a national donor, and internationally also. So there are a lot of varieties and lot of diverse germplasm. So you have specialty rices like the biryani chira, then Kotambalari kaima. Kotambalari kaima is just like our malli, kotamalli. The seeds are very small, and it's very highly aromatic. And you have the mullan kaima, nalla chilnil. All these things are specialty rice groups. And of course, we have the medicinal rices like Nyavara, Rektashali, all these things. I think if you are, I hope you are not that sick, but if you have a treatment, to undergo treatment in Ayurveda, there's Nyavara and Rektashali form part of the treatment. Yeah, so they take a lot of this rice, consume a lot of this rice, especially it seems it has a good effect on the nervous system. So we have a lot of traditional specialty rice groups and a lot of donors, nationally and international donors. And of course, then this is a big question. Now that we have enough, I mean, at least Kerala does not have enough, but on an average, India has enough of rice to feed the millions. So now people, and we have the purchasing power right now. So we are looking into nutritional aspects. People are becoming health conscious, right? So I don't know how many of you are I mean, ready to forego your burgers and all these things. But people in general, they are becoming health conscious, and they say that the red rice is nutritionally superior to the white rice. But that's a controversy. That's not completely proven. But of course, the red rice has a lot of anthocyanins, and so they are rich means antioxidant properties. That's already proved. But that depends upon how you are processing the rice ultimately. So if you're just hulling and using the brown rice, that would be fine, but that would be very difficult to consume. But if you're going for polishing, even the red rice, we polish. So polishing removes the bran, which has all the vitamins and minerals mostly. So that also becomes not much differences in white rice, milled white rice and milled red rice. But keeping the bran intact or less milling to giving, I mean, using less milling percentage, that would be really advantageous. And this red rice we have analyzed, we have a lot of iron in it. So that's not in all red, it's not or across all red rice, I wouldn't say a lot of iron, but there are certain varieties in the germplasm that has very high iron and very high zinc. Protein also, like the variation is up to 14. We have found up to 14, that is 13.9% of protein is present. So such varieties, now we are talking about low glycemic index varieties, ultra low glycemic index varieties. So I think we should, we have not much exploited that aspect. So we will try to do, we will be in future definitely going for such rise for health. That might be the logo in the coming years there. So, and then we have this molecular diversity, gene tagging, and all those efforts are mapping all these things, especially for the iron toxicity uh, and what to say, acidity. We are trying to tag and tag the genes. That efforts are going on. And here again, earliness. So as I said earlier, we try to squeeze in 2 or 3 crops a year. So there we need a combination, like in any place, we need an early group, an extra early variety, so that we can have a medium duration variety in the second crop, a early variety in the first crop, and a very early variety in the summer crop, so that we can take 3 crops a year. That's very, I don't know whether it's being over ambitious, because we are having a very small area where rice can be grown. So to increase production annually, this is one alternative, that is increasing the cropping intensity. So in that, with that in mind, we are trying to develop an extra early variety with high yield. So when it comes to extra early variety, it is less than 90 to 100 days, but then we need to compensate on yield, right? But we are very ambitious. We're trying to develop a variety that can give us good yield in very short days. So that is, efforts are being going on. Yes, and stress tolerance, as we said, iron toxicity, and any lot of work is going on. Even for drought, when I say Kerala, people say we are breeding for drought. All are like, you, what are they doing? So it's like you wouldn't believe the topography of the Kerala state is such that it has a gradient, and the gradients are so steep that when we get a lot of rain, I said, as the water just runs off, and we are not able to impound the water, or the water doesn't have the time to seep in during the rain. So then when the the rain stops, and for 2 3 days it withdraws, the plant is under stress. So we are also looking into breeding for drought tolerance, where you can, yes, that is also part of our focus. So that's been there. And as I said, biotic stress, you name the disease and pest, and it is there. So we are also going in for that breeding. And here, Pokali, yes, we have specific ecosystem. So the whole idea of today's talk was for breeding for this different agro ecosystems. So this very specific ecosystems is the Pokali. I know, have you been to Ernakulam? All of you? Many of you, at least? Yeah, you have seen the Pokali lands? So again, during the rains, so there it is very close to the sea, and so the tidal water always comes in during the high tide and then ebbs during the low tide. So the water intrusion, saline water intrusion is continuous, and you can't do any yeah, like it's totally organic system. So there is no like the water, sea water comes in, it brings in lot of microbes and microorganisms and whatnot from the sea and then takes it back. So we have a system of where you can integrate the prawn, fish, and rice culture. So you wouldn't believe. So the decision of salinity before the start of rain is so high that it is more than, I think, above 6 decisiemens of salinity is considered detrimental to normal rice crops. So we have salinity going up to 12 decisiemens, but still the Pokali rice varieties can tolerate that. So that is that level of tolerance. Not all varieties have that. So the Pokali tracked rice varieties have been, over the period of time, they have acclimatized. And I hope all breeders here, no? Acclimatization and things. So it is evolved in such a way that it can tolerate even high decisiemens as high as 12 I mean salinity as high as 12 decisiemens. So we have, so during the rains, just before the rains, they take mounds in the field and then they will seed this, sow the rice seeds on these mounds. I mean, the mounds are taken, and when the rains come, the salt water leaches out from the mounds, and then they sow the seed on that, so it will be less salty. And because the rainwater has leached out the salt in that mounds, and then with the rains, because of the rains, the seeds start germinating, and then slowly as the rain increases, the field gets inundated with water. And so there is no scope of transplanting in that area. They just dismantle the mounds. They just either through spades or any machine, they just pull out and throw the seedlings. And then wherever the seedling falls, it establishes. And as the water, so the rainy season, the water starts it becomes like a deep water situation. So you can see, I think there, you can see the person coming to harvest in the boats. The boat, they come, by the time it is ready for harvest, the water is as tall, means as high as 4 feet, 4.5 feet. So we will all, like, at least I will be deep near this. So they take boats to harvest this one. So this system is very unique. It's totally organic. And the same system we have in Kannur, where you have a tidal place called the Kaipad lands. Same to Pokali. There also we have varieties that are very tolerant, land races like Kudira. All these things are very tolerant to salinity. So again, there, cropping, rice crop is done only in the first season, southwest monsoon, where you can have fresh water from the rains that will be more, that will dilute the salt in the field, and so the rice is grown. So this is one specific unique system in Kerala. And of course, the highlands, high ranges, I think even here we have Gudalur, we have, right? Rice is grown. Yes, same. We have, here the focus is on cold tolerance. So not chilling, I mean, not freezing, chilling tolerance. So we have varieties for that. And mainly, Wayanad is actually Vayalnad. Vayal is, means rice fields. But now you cannot see much vayals, but only plantations like pepper, and then every field is here also, I think it is taken over by banana cultivation. So there, it's the same there. Land conversion is on the high. Here we have special method. Actually, it's not an ecosystem. Here what we do is, it's like a Sunday farmer. It's easy for the Sunday farmers. Like the farmers that who don't have time enough to go daily to the field, they resort to such things. This is called the Kutumundayan system. They mix up 7 parts of the first crop, that is a insensitive variety, with 3 parts of photosensitive variety. So the photosensitive variety will anytime you sow, it will come on to flowering only in November, December. So they will mix the seeds 7:3 and sow it in the first crop. So both the seeds will germinate, both the type varieties will germinate and grow together. And by the end, that is in August, September, that is before Onam, the first insensitive variety will flower and it will be ready for harvest. So then the whole of the crop is harvested. So the second, the photosensitive variety is also cut, but then it grows from the ratoon, and then that they will harvest in December, January. So you just have to sow and they go back for harvest. So that's why we call the system is especially for the Sunday farmers. So who don't have time for real farming. And we have this PTB 60, that's an that can grow even under, it is shade tolerant also, it is upland. And we were talking about photo period sensitive and insensitive varieties. There are areas where we need really photosensitive varieties, that is long duration varieties or varieties that are very specific to when they will flower. So we breed for that also, because in some ecosystems, this is what, especially in Wayanad, there is no possibility because of the when the temperatures are very low, they find it very difficult to, I mean, the sterility and the fertility is affected. So, and hybrid rice is where we have terribly failed, I would say. We have not made much advances in this one, though we have many students working on this area. We have totally, I mean, we have yet to make progress. Red rice, hybrid, is it's a big question for us. So when we use the restorers, we use the TGMS lines and CGMS lines. There's only partial fertility restoration. So there is something that we need to tackle in future also. We are so in collaboration with IRI, the center, that we are trying to go for ahead with this in a big way. So I think challenges are something that is, I mean, it's only for us. We need to focus on that. It's there. Nothing comes on a platter for us. Every efforts, they have challenges. So this is also the challenges we have in increasing productivity in rice crop. And all these are only hybrid rice. That's what exploitation of heterosis is what we want to do in collusion with international or national agencies. And when we say national agencies, we are really wanting to have a collaboration, but because of the specific requirements, it doesn't really come out. The collaboration is not even DRR now. They are also focusing on major white rice development, slender rice development. So we are left to fend for ourselves, to say. Thank you for patiently listening to me. And thank you once again for the opportunity. I don't think you will have doubts, but you can still ask if you have. Probably rich in iron, but when you talk about iron, it has a detriment. The zinc uptake is also affected by iron toxicity affects uptake of zinc also. But then in certain varieties, our varieties, the zinc is also much higher than what they use for biofortification. So probably because they have been growing in the toxic soil, they're acclimatized to that and uptake of iron is high. That is okay, but still this iron does not translocate inside the grain. No, it's only on the bran, on iron nutritional. We really don't, yeah, it's already there. It's already there. So we are not, but not in all varieties. So we are using them as donors. I'm finding in there, I don't know, but in ours we have a big range. Yes, it's. I think in traditional varieties we have a higher range compared to varieties. Definitely on the higher side than the varieties that they are using actually. We feel sometimes at one we were also having a discussion whether we are giving more iron than what is required for the human per day consumption. No? Especially this nyavara and things, they are very rich. They're medicinal rices, actually. Yeah. So must be that is also contributing to its medicinal property. The whole, because nyavara, they are not using only as nyavara, they are using it as in a concoction. So with other herbs, they never use it separately. So we really don't know why the effect on the nervous system, why the beneficial effect is only due to nyavara or the combination. They use milk, so sida roots, and nyavara, make a paste and then apply. And they add many other things. So, but then it is used. Yeah, in August, this Karkadakam, I think Adimasam, you have always, they say it is, it's a very, you people, we old people tend to crack their bones. So during those months, the people use Nyavara as for their kanni, Nyavara, medicinal. Yeah, unless you should have it, in our place also, they polish off the bran. So that's, we are only eating the, what is it, chandu we say in Malayalam. Nutrition, yield wise as well. Nutritional also, compared to ponmani, and we also have the samyukta. Yes, there are other white rice varieties that are long duration varieties that are coming. Definitely, the nutritionally, the mineral contents are higher in our rice. So we also tried grow this red rice varieties, our high yielding varieties, Uma and Jyoti comes, they are grown in other states. We also analyze that. So it is higher. It's not because, that means it is not because of the soil content. It is inherently, it has the ability to deposit higher iron in the bran, wherever it is grown, whether it is Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, where the same. But in case of Pokali, the salt content, the sodium content is so high in the bran. That must be, there is a correlation between the water and the this one. So salinity, saline water, and no, not in but then people take polished rice, no? So that's, we too require in, to a certain extent. But people are becoming health conscious. They're getting educated. Now all are organic is the fad, right? They are ready to pay. You have the money power, so their purchasing power is high. So they are buying. Yeah, it's definitely better than having supplements. If you can, this is a healthy way of having things, it's better. Especially when they say rice is only carbohydrates. This is different. Like, I invite you all to come and taste our red rice. I know other students, the teachers are already, I think they have come. Mostly, I think when we talk about red rice, the preference, the curry, the fish curry that we make, it goes well with this matta rice rather than the ponni rice. I think that must be one of the reasons.